Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Welcome everybody to another Create Your New Life powered by Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. I am your host, CEO, broker, realtor, coach, Michael G. Davis, and I am excited to be here once again with everybody as we jump into this thing. Thank you for joining, whether you're checking us out on our YouTube channel or somebody sent you a text. However you're viewing us, we want to say thank you for checking us out. We have our agents come on. This is an opportunity for our agents to connect with us. We got a little topic. We're still in our series as it relates to being social media beasts. So that is what we're going to be continuing today. Agents know at any point they can stop and engage. They can ask questions. You know, the trainings are not just meant for me to be talking all the time, but I will absolutely talk all the time if that is what's needed of me. So welcome, Selena. We got Selena on. What's up, Selena? We got Margaret. So we got our agents coming on board. We are going to have an exciting time here today. All right. So let's see. We always like to start off by showing where you follow us on social media. Just to keep an eye on us gives a great idea of how to stay engaged, to see what we have going on. I always encourage the YouTube channel. I feel like that gives us the best presentation of who we are as a company. So YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook business page. We put a lot of great content on our Facebook business page. Oh, we got Brina. What's up, Brina? Brina chiming in with us today, too. But yeah, Facebook business page, we feel like it's a great avenue for you to stay on top of where we are as a company. We post multiple times per week. We actually do our live mastermind, which we're going to be doing later today at 2:30. We put it on our Facebook business page as well. And then we have, you know, other areas that you can follow us. You can subscribe, like, follow, learn, and share. Now, if you're checking us out, like I said, on our YouTube channel, or somebody sent this text to you, or email with one of our videos on it, if you see something and it really stands out, then we say, hey, look, click on this link. You're going to have an opportunity to schedule an online or in-person company introduction where you can learn more of the great things that we offer. At the end of the day, you may be in an environment that's not conducive for what you feel like you need to be successful in this business. That may be the case. And if that is the case for you, then we say, click on that link and let's talk about it. Let's see, by putting you in a different arena, how it can help you take off and shoot for the stars. Also, our agents through our CE providership, our agents that log in, they actually do qualify to get continuing education credit every time they take advantage of our Create Your New Life. And that's brought to us weekly through our providership, the Brooks and Davis Real Estate Continuing Education Institute. So as long as the student does these 4 things, being logged in when the session begins, showing identification, we're able to see the student's face the entire time, and you must stay online. As long as we do those things, anybody that wants to be able to qualify for the CE credit, they got to do those 4 things, right? All right, so with that being said, our title for today is what you need for social media success you already have, right? And that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be looking into how, you know, Gary Vaynerchuk is the person that we've been following over these last 4 weeks, and how he's put together this 270-page deck that really speaks to how he laid out his social media strategy. So we're gleaning from that great insights as we build our own personal strategies. And today we're going to talk about how he utilizes pictures and how he distributes them as posts and as a part of his strategy where they fit as it relates to his system. And then we're also going to look at micro content, like taking content, longer content that you do, and then chopping it up into bits and pieces, and then posting that as well, adding that as a part of, you know, social media content that you can put out there. So we're going to look at that as well. We're also going to talk about how we feel about respect and family as a part of our company once we jump into our core ideology, our moment in core. We're also going to talk about one of the proprietary programmings that we utilize as it relates to distributing leads that we encourage our agents to take care of. And we're going to look at a spacious 2-story home that's on a cul-de-sac close to Tomball. We're going to look at seeing if we can get you guys to help us get that bad boy sold. So we got a jam-packed show. Let's go ahead and jump into that thing if you don't mind. All right, so our quote for today comes from Mr. Don E. Schultz. And Don Schultz is an author. He's actually a professor for marketing. And this is a quote that he gave as it relates to social media. And he says, social media creates communities, not markets. It creates communities, not markets. And I think what he's saying is that a lot of people are wanting to utilize social media as if it is an economy, as if it is a market to where you can transact. And not to say that you can't do transactions, but the reality is that if you go into it with the intention of engaging solely for the fact of transacting or doing business, then that's where people are finding issue on maintaining people's attention. But if you go into it with the mind frame of community and building community, and obviously community that you can build, the better it increases your chances of being able to eventually transact on a large scale. That's the better way to approach it. So I believe that is what Mr. Schultz is talking about as it relates to your intention of building something on social media. It should be that you're building a community, something that you can market to, but that should not be your ultimate goal. People know generally, if you want to become attractive, then people are not attracted to if you're just trying to sell them something. They're attracted to if there's a level of value that you're providing that they can utilize that'll enhance their lives. So I think that's a great quote, and we'll deep dive a little bit more into that as we continue with what we're going to talk about today as far as our social media success. All right, so let's jump into our moment in core. And if this is kind of like your first time being with us, what we do once a week is we look at our core ideology, right? And our core ideology is made up of 3 elements. Element number 1 is our big, hairy, audacious goal, what we're looking to achieve as an organization. Area number 2 is our core mission, which we looked at last week in episode 140. And 5 core values. And those 5 values are here on the screen, as you can see. And the one that we're going to highlight today is treat and respect one another like family. I was actually meeting with a young lady who's looking at Brooks and Davis, about joining Brooks and Davis. I was meeting with her at about 6 o'clock yesterday evening, and I asked her, what do you feel like you need to put you in the best position to be successful in this business? And what she said was the ability that if I'm not available, right, the ability to where she could reach out to someone else that's a part of the organization, and based off of that, be able to get the support that she needs to do whatever she needs at the time. So that's what she said she needed. And when she was talking to me, I spoke back to her about our core values, and I talked to her about how, treat and respect one another like family. is built into us as an organization, and we strive to create that type of climate and environment. And she would absolutely have the ability to not only just rely on my expertise and knowledge base, but have the ability to rely on the knowledge base of the individuals that are in our family, right? And, you know, we have our group text messaging piece, so if anybody has any issues, they can put it out there. There are plenty of times where agents will call into the office and I don't answer the phone. One of the agents may answer the phone and they're able to take care of that person's situation. So I'm proud to say, I said all that to say that I'm proud to say that as it relates to our core value of treat and respect one another like family, that we as an organization, we do that well. And I see you guys helping one another, and y'all offering advice, and y'all offering assistance when needed, and recommendations. And I just want to, number one, point it out. I'm proud of it as an organization. It makes me proud, and say, let's keep doing it, because I really feel like that's a way that we can give back to our marketplace. All right, so last week, pointed out a new affiliate member that we have, Constance Watts. And as you all may have been able to see on our GroupMe over these last 7 days, Constance Watts has now gone from an affiliate member to an agent. She took her test last week and she passed her exam. So shout out to Constance. She's now a new Brooks & Davis agent with us. We'll get together and get her paperwork and everything updated so she can get ready to begin to transact. So that is exciting. We have another one that's graduated through our affiliate membership program and now been able to get her license. So we're excited about that for Candace. Congratulations, Candace. I mean, Constance. I'm calling her the wrong name. Congratulations, Constance. All right, so let's see how we're doing as far as business, right? You know, the last couple of times I've been super excited because, you know, we're just killing it. Like, we're adding a bunch of transactions. We've got a bunch of stuff in the pipeline. Every week I look on here, we're adding at least 1 to 2 new transactions every week. So let's keep pushing it. I love it, right? We were pushing to get over the 5 million mark. We've hit that. Now we're carrying, you know, a little less than $7 million worth of production. So let's really keep pushing it. Congratulations. Every time I show this slide, though, I want to encourage you. If your name is not on there, if your name is not on this list, let's work together. Let's get together and let's put you in a position to where you have production in the pipeline. Obviously, we cannot rest on the fact that it's not, obviously we can't rest on the fact that nobody's doing business, because people are doing business, right? We cannot rest on that fact. So let's put some things in place to where now you constantly have your name and you're constantly in the top 3 as it relates to most productive or most producing agents at the time. So congratulations, family. Let's keep up the good work. Let's keep piling these transactions in here, and we'll go from there. All right. The top 3, as far as it relates to the top 3, still being dominated by the women. So congratulations. Kendra Wheaton is number 1. LaKendra Kaufman number 2. And Sydney Ely is rounding out that 3rd spot. So congratulations, ladies. Let's keep it going. All right. The proprietary programming portion, again, this is, you know, if you're a member, a consistent member of the Create Your New Life, then you understand that once a week we look at least one of the proprietary programs that we offer as an organization. So I always started off by showcasing the mural, which is really just a representation of all the multitude of things that we offer at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. But the one that I really want to showcase today is our Brooks & Davis digital lead generation system. And this is the way that we distribute leads. So somebody asks us, oh, do y'all give leads? The answer is yes, we do give leads. Now, here's my disclaimer. I always want to be transparent. I'm gonna be 100, keeping it real with you. These leads that are in this digital lead generation system are not grade A leads, right? But they're great. Let me tell you what they're great for. They're great for you becoming more versed on conversion, right? Taking a prospect and converting them, taking them through your sales process to convert them into a client. These leads are great for that. Now, Mike, why do you say that they're not grade A leads? Number one, they're on the internet. And statistics show that a person typically, before they buy a house, begins their search 12 months, up to 12 months in the future. So what does that mean? And statistics also show that over 90% of people that are looking to buy a house, they start online research. So these are online leads. So that means you may very well get somebody, and if they are ready to buy a house, they're not ready to buy it right now. Now, this is when you should insert yourself into their process. That Google calls it their moment of discovery. They're discovering things, right? You should insert yourself at that point, but remember, this is going to be more future business. So that's one reason why they're not grade A. The second reason why they're not grade A is that because they are online leads, they are coming from referral sources. And since they are coming from referral sources, there are referral fees that have to be paid on these leads. So not only do you have to kind of wait them out, you have to pay a referral fee in addition to, the commission. Well, when you get the commission, you're going to have to pay a referral fee on that. So those two things, not grade A. But what they're great for, again, is making sure when you have grade A leads, right? Because ideally, grade A leads are people that know you, they like you, they trust you, and they're ready, willing, and able, that you can help them in the next 30 to 60 days. Grade A leads, baby. Well, you want to make sure that you can take that prospect, that grade A prospect, grade A lead, and you can effectively take them through your sales process and convert them to a client. Well, this is a great practicing ground for that. And even with you practicing, it's better than nothing, right? If you don't have any leads, even with you practicing, you have an opportunity to where you can transact, make you some money, okay? So to access that, if you have not been able to access the digital lead generation system, then call the office. Jess can kind of walk you through that to help you out. There is in our serum, in your Success in Real Estate Machine, there is a document that kind of walks you through setting it up. It's probably in your email as well. It's been emailed to you. When you signed on with us, it was emailed. But even inside of the program itself, there are some instructions that speak to, here we go. There are some instructions that speak to what do you need to do, right? So you get the email, you sign up with Trello, you get added, you can download the app on your phone, so you can even have access to them from your phone, and then it just kind of gives you the instructions as it relates to you starting and calling the leads and going from there. So these instructions are also in your Success in Real Estate Machine. Okay, now I wanted to just show you as it relates to the leads. So as you can see, you got first call, you got keep calling, and then you have assigned leads. So the one for assigned leads, these are people that have actually already been spoken to and they've been assigned and agents have taken them. But these are leads that have never been called. They haven't been called yet. So there's great opportunity here to get these people on the phone. And then these are people, they have been called, but maybe they didn't pick up, or maybe, nothing was solidified. So no agent that's called them has solidified them. And so now you can continue, you can get on here and you can call. So this digital lead generation system, again, is a great opportunity for you to get the ball rolling, making some phone calls and generate some business, get some business going for yourself. So that is the program that we wanted to highlight today. That's the one. All right, so now, also what we want to showcase is one of our listings. So we want to do a listing showcase today. The listing that we want to showcase is 5410 Fair Forest Drive. It has easy access to Highway 249. So you have a client, it's less than 200,000. Coming up so big. All right, there we go. Okay, so here's the landing page for it. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2378 square feet on a 7,300 square foot lot. These are just some pictures about it. Like I said, it's less than 200,000. On the landing page, there is a virtual tour that gives a tour of the inside of the property. And what I'll do is I'll type the landing page when I finish going through it, so you can get more information. But less than 200,000, close to Highway 249. You can also schedule a showing from the landing page. Those are the pictures. Okay, it's a 2-story. It is on a cul-de-sac. And upgraded laminate wood floors in the entry, tile entry, high vaulted ceilings, fireplace, large master suite. And the upstairs has a huge game room, actually one of the bedrooms. So 2 of the bedrooms are downstairs, 1 of the bedrooms is upstairs. Huge game room and an additional full bath upstairs. And it has a great covered deck. So, obviously I could talk about it, but, the pictures, it would be better to kind of look at the pictures, right? So there's that upgraded laminate floor in the fireplace. The dining area is your kitchen. French doors leading out to the covered patio. That's the study. One of the bedrooms, bathroom. It's the master suite. Master bath, that's the game room upstairs. It's another bedroom. That's the other bath. And that's the covered deck, right? With a jacuzzi tub and a projector. Look at that. You can project while you're in the jacuzzi tub. And then that's the backyard. So, I think it's a beautiful property. So let's get it sold, right? Under 200,000, 2-story, 2-story. And so if you got a client, then go ahead and share it with them. I'm going to share whiteboard. Boom, here we go. So to get to the landing page that I just showed you, then go here. Real easy to remember, and this is all lowercase. So if you go to that website, bit.ly/5410 Fair Forest, then it's going to take you to that landing page, and then you'll be able to share it with your clients, share it with individuals that are looking. So these are the opportunities now when we're talking about your sales process, when you're trying to convert prospects to clients and maybe they're not quite ready, right? When we're talking about if they're starting their search 12 months in advance, these are the opportunities that you want to be able to leverage, that you can send them a text, say, hey, look, just wanted to let you know about this property that our company has. It's a way of staying engaged with them as they go through this process in this pipeline. Those are the things that constitute to you having a sustainable realtor business. Those are the kind of activities. So go through your phone, go through your database, go through your email, go through your social media, and use this link or making them aware of this property for sale as a reason or a justification for you to touch them again and stay top of mind. So that's what I'm saying. All right, and in the meantime, by you doing that, we may be able to see you on the other side of the transaction and we get paid because we done got it sold. So let's go ahead and knock that out. Get that bad boy sold, baby. All right. Awesome. All right. So before we get into our social media conversation and continue that we've been in over the last 4 weeks, beginning with episode 137, I believe. What I want to do is that I want to ensure that you all know how to get to the show notes. A lot of y'all probably don't know that for these Create Your New Lives, I have show notes, and I do show notes every week. So here are the show notes. This is actually the agenda that I'm reading from, and you all have access to this every week, right? So the way to access these notes, if you care to know, all you got to do is, let's see, go here, in your 7-dot training, hold on, did I do that right? There we go. All right, in your 7-dot training, right, so this is your 7-dot training folder. In Google Drive, that's why Google Drive is so phenomenal. We've started creating the same, when we do our topics, we do our episodes, we've started using a uniform title. And by doing that uniform title, all you really need to know is the episode, right? So whatever episode that you're interested in, getting access to the show notes, getting access to the presentation slides that I show, all you have to do is start with EP, and then you type in the number of the episode. So for instance, this is episode 141. When you type in that episode in your 7-dot training, it's going to pull up a folder, or it's going to pull up everything that's associated with that episode. So you'll see the presentation, you can start there, you see the folder, or you can see the show notes. So if you go to the folder, then voila, you have everything in there, all right? You got the pending board slide, you got the presentation, and you got the show notes that I'm showing here. So that is how you get, to these show notes. All righty. So if you have not, if you haven't gone back and looked at the first 4 episodes, so we've done, up until today, we've done 4 episodes. We did episode, and it started at episode 137. So I'm going to do a brief recap, and then we're going to jump into our topic for today, which is about pictures and video micro content, which I talked about earlier. All right, so episode 137, we looked at the first 28 pages of the deck. We kind of went through the introduction, and we looked at Twitter, and we looked at Instagram. So we looked at more of the social media platforms and the best way to approach them. So Gary Vee did a deep dive into Twitter. He did a deep dive into Instagram. So that's episode 137. So if you're interested, you didn't see that, go back to our YouTube channel and to our Create Your New Life playlist, look for episode 137. And you can do that same trick. You go to our YouTube and you can search, put in EP 137, it'll pull it up. All right, so then episode 138, we looked at slides 29 through 64, and those slides dealt with contextual for the platform, meaning when you are posting on the multiple social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, you want to understand your audience, and you want to make sure, even if you're using the same content, you want to make sure that your context is relevant to the audience that is on those platforms. So we looked at that, and then we also looked at memes, right? Those are those funny, using animation or using people's faces and you putting captions on it. So we looked at memes, and then we also looked at slide decks or carousels. That's where you swipe, right? So you create a narrative, a story, and then the person or the audience swipes to get the story. So we looked at that in episode 138. So again, if you weren't able to take advantage of that, go to our YouTube channel. It's on there, episode 138, and you can see that. All right. So episode 139, we looked at slides 65 through 97. And that's where we talked about the Notes app in your phone and how you can utilize that by capturing your thoughts and then screenshotting your notes and posting those as pictures on some of the social media platforms. And then we also looked at utilizing your smartphone camera and live streaming, right? So that was episode 139. So if you're interested in hearing about that, go to that episode. And then last week was episode 140. We looked at decks 98 through 125, and that's where we talked about cartoons and drawing. So if you had that artistic ability, drawing your own cartoons or animated stories or concepts around things that you want to present on your social media platform, it's a phenomenal way to execute or to utilize spreading content on social media. So we looked at that last week, episode 140, and then we also talked about video slideshows, which is something that we may be able, that some new information that got out of this. And again, this is Gary Vaynerchuk giving us a strategy that I didn't know that you could create video slideshows in Facebook. But you can actually create them in Facebook, and all they are pictures that you put in video format. Doesn't cost you anything. Post it on Facebook. Before you post it, you can download it on your phone, and now you have it to be able to post on multiple social media platforms. Okay, so those are the first 4 episodes. So this is the 5th episode in our 10-part series as it relates to becoming a social media beast with the help of Mr. Gary Vaynerchuk. All right, and today what we're going to be looking at are slides 126 through 152, and they're going to be talking about pictures. So he's going to present to us how he's utilizing pictures in his strategy and his scheme of things. And then we're also going to look at video micro content, like how to take a large video and then you break it down so you can have many posts go out with multiple captions as a way to, again, enhance and expand your social media presence. So with that being said, let us jump in to it. Alrighty. So what we're doing is we're looking at this deck that Gary Vee put together, and we are starting at deck 126. Now remember, if you guys have questions, you got comments, I do have the chat open, so I see if anybody's posting anything in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and I can answer your questions. All right, perfect. So number 10, pictures. So, and the numbers mean this is the 10th piece that he's addressed as it relates to this. So now Gary Vee says he couldn't be a bigger advocate. He could not be a bigger advocate of putting out content about yourself, your hobbies, and your interests. It can separate you from other people in your space and share your uniqueness. No one is you, and that's your biggest power. So now, I think this is one of the most profound things that he could tell someone that is a realtor, right? Because everybody knows a realtor. And then where he says it can separate you from other people in your space, you can utilize your social media platform to separate you from other realtors or licensed or people that are licensed in your space by you posting your uniqueness and the things that you like to do, the personal stuff about you. He says no one is you, and that's your biggest power. Your biggest power is your level of uniqueness. Like Gary says, no one is you. So now if you approach social media, and if we go back to what Don Schultz said earlier in the quote, social media is about building community. Well, by utilizing and leveraging your uniqueness and showcasing that on your social media platforms, that's one of the biggest ways that you can build a community that has like interests what you have. And remember what I said earlier, the larger that you build the community, the greater opportunity that you have to be able to market to the people that's in that community. So use that. Sit back and think about what are the things that you like to do? What are the things that you're involved in, right? You know, one of the things that I'm involved in is I'm really involved in Little League Baseball as it relates to my children. Both of my children are playing Little League Baseball. So if that was the direction that I wanted to go as it related to social media, then I could create a social media group as it related to Little League Baseball. I could create a YouTube channel as it related to that. I could create a profile, or I could just, instead of, you know, those are kind of the limits. There are no limits to how I could use that to enhance an interest of mine. But also what I could do is just simply post things on a consistent basis to my platforms as it relates to Little League Baseball. Because then what that'll do is that'll attract other individuals that are of like mind. And then I can engage my audience, and we can, again, that could be the beginnings of building community. So now guess what? I'm still a realtor, and those people that I attract and that are brought into that community that I'm building on social media, if they have a real estate need, I'm there to help them as well. So that's how this social media thing works. It works indirectly. All right. Now he talks about you could post pictures. They could be places that you visit, right? So that's another thing, that a way that you can separate yourself or be unique is just simply taking pictures of places that you visited and posting those on social media and putting content or caption. Because again, that's things that are unique to you. You're already doing it. It's content that you already have, right? I don't know, most people when they go and they travel somewhere, they take pictures. So here's now a great opportunity for you to take something that you're already doing, that you already have, and using it to enhance your social media strategy. Gary also talked about funny moments or inside jokes with your followers. All right, so when you get to the point where you got followers, you got an audience, right? You want to post inside jokes that only your audience, you and your audiences know and they engage with. So as you get there, you have that opportunity as well. He talked about you can post older pictures. So I guess this is a picture from 2007. Old school Gary V. Pictures with partners or customers or clients. Here's another great one, right? Taking pictures of clients. Again, talking as it relates to realtors. There's a lot of people that are involved in a real estate transaction. So now, how about you document the people in your transaction? Take a picture with the inspector. Post it on your social media and give them a shout out. Take a picture with, you know, if you meet the appraiser at the property, take a picture with your client. Take a picture with the lender that you're working with. Take a picture with the other agent that you're doing the transaction with, right? So you can take pictures of these different scenarios and situations, and then you can put copy to give it context so people can understand. Like I said, you can give shout outs. Maybe it's a sales counselor that you're working with on a transaction. Hey man, let's get a selfie in. Let me post this on my social media. Obviously, always ask for permission. Let them know what you're doing. But it's a great way to enhance your social media presence by doing, you know, doesn't take a lot of time at all, taking a picture and then posting it with some context. So this is what Gary is showing here as it relates to pictures. And he gives us the performance that he got from these different pictures. All right, and then he talks about the platforms that we can use them on, right? So just taking a picture and posting it with some context, it can go on Instagram, it can go on LinkedIn, it can go on Facebook, and it can go on Twitter. And you know Gary's doing a tally of his pieces of content because the name of the deck is How to Do 64 Pieces of Content in a Day. So that's 4 more pieces to add. Now he gives us a little side note in here. He says that this is the place in the category where most people get caught. All right, so now what do you mean, Gary? He says they become mundane and they post the same kind of pics because they are feeding the algorithm. So now, there is an algorithm that all of these social media platforms are driven by. What Gary is talking about here is that based on the algorithm that these social media platforms are driven by will dictate how your stuff gets pushed out. With all the millions and trillions of data points that are coming in every day, so you don't get lost in the shuffle, there are different pictures and different contexts and captions that these algorithms respond to, and that's what Gary is saying. It's like once you figure out a nuance of things that get your stuff pushed out, staying in that vein as it relates to pictures, you create a level of boredom. So he says, and then people end up having, and then you'll end up having all your photos looking the same. You don't want to do that, because remember, it's about building community. So even though that picture may have low performance as it relates to your fans and your followers, it may be more impactful, and it may connect with them, although it may not connect with the algorithm. And that's what Gary says. He says he would rather have underperforming photos and mix it up because it gives the potential to find the next pillar of pictures that expand his audience, right? So, you know, stop fearing the algorithm is the advice of Professor Gary G. And he says it just varies 1 to 2 minutes is what it takes. All right, so before we go to the next one, you know, his running tally is now up to 31 pieces of content because he was able to post those 4 pictures, post that picture on those 4 different platforms. All right, so now, video micro content. So this is for you all that have gotten courageous enough to begin doing videos, all right? So now this is a vein that I play in a lot. And the reason I play so much in this vein is because I do a lot of videos. We do a lot of videos. We got the Create Your New Life. We have the Mastermind Through Tough Times. I do the one-on-one coaching for real. I do now I'm doing a live with Mike on Mondays on my Facebook personal page. So I do a lot of videos. Like I find a lot of comfort. I'm very comfortable doing video. I've been doing it for a long time. So now what Gary's talking about is you can take a video and you can layer on titles and captions to make it easier. So now this is for me, this is kind of more of a newer thing, me understanding the power of captions. I heard somebody say it and I was like, man, that makes sense. You know, now the way that the social media platforms have evolved, you know, when you're scrolling through something, it starts it on mute. You can't see it. And now what is built, the habit that is built is that before anybody stops to listen to what you're talking about, they're looking to see what you're talking about, right? And then that caption dictates if they check out what you're doing or not. So if you don't have captions, closed captioning going on your videos, then you probably got a lot of people that are just scrolling through, that are just passing your content. So this is something that we're going back, we're looking at taking some older videos, some previous content, add captions to it, and I'll probably repost it to see if we can get a wider reach, a larger reach. I mean, I have a plethora of content. Content is king. So I got a lot of, I don't even need to create no new content. I got so much content that I can go back on and take and repost to enhance my social media audience. But that's what Gary talks about here as far as making it easier for people to consume and get wider reach because they're seeing those contents when it is on muted. It also makes the most consumer-centric content wins. So the profiles that make the most consumer-centric content win. And I guess what he's saying is that Gary Vee was showing love to airport personnel. And he asked his audience to tag an airport friend, and where he was just talking about traveling, seeing a lot, and looking at airport culture differently. So I'm assuming that's what that video was about. So he made a video that was specific to a particular audience or group of people, and then he just asked his audience to tag individuals that were in that space as a way to get him wider exposure for who he was. I think that's a smart strategy, a smart idea. That's probably something that we're going to use. All right, so then he goes into the video micro content piece, which is what we were speaking to earlier. So like I do a Create Your New Life, and this Create Your New Life is an hour, right? And we put that larger content, that larger hour piece of work, and add that to the YouTube channel, the whole thing. But then I may have an engagement on Create Your New Life. I do this a lot. I have an engagement with an agent or do like a mini coaching piece. And then I can take that piece, maybe break it down 1-2 minutes, and then I can use that piece of content for my one-on-one coaching for real, which is something that I actually do. And then post that as a separate series on Instagram. But then I can also take content from the Create Your New Life, and I can just say break it down into like maybe a 30-second text, 30-second video, a minute video, just one sentence. And then I can take that and then build some caption or some context around it and then send that out, just a piece. So that's what Gary means when he talks about video micro content. It's talking about as you're documenting, right? Your videos could just be recorded with your phone's camera. Obviously, we do a lot of that with the camera and the computer. But you're documenting whether video, whether audio, whether written, you're just documenting stuff. And then based on the content, like what I said earlier, I got a plethora of content. Based on what you've documented, the content you've documented, now you can begin creating things, creating videos, creating music, creating text. And then taking what you've created and then you distribute it on the social media platforms. So that's Gary Vee's content model. And I think that's hey, look, no need reinventing the wheel. The man has multiple millions of followers across multiple platforms. Why are we trying to invent something new? Let's just duplicate. This is what he says. You document. So it's all about creating content. Remember, that was something that I said last week. The best way to position yourself to consistently create content is that you consistently feed your mind with new substance. So now we got to talk about growth. You always got to be in a position of where you're growing, whether you're reading, podcasts, magazines. You got to constantly get new information into your brain, which will help you with documenting, creating content. It'll help you with that. You can constantly create it. That's where people get held up. People get held up on the distribution piece. Well, you know, I did my Facebook Live on my personal Facebook yesterday. Start doing those on Mondays at 8 o'clock. And one of the questions that the agent posed was, you know, how do you get past posting every day but not being mundane or being able to be unique, not posting the same stuff over and over again? And the answer to that question is that you got to constantly bring in new stuff to your mind, right? You got to constantly be learning. You got to constantly be growing, being exposed to new content to give your mind something, your mindset something that you can recreate. And then, so that's what it's really about. It's not really the distribution piece, because if you do that, then you'll have more than enough content to be able to post every day. The problem is people run out of stuff to post, and then that's where they get hung up. So if we follow the Gary Vee content model, this can help us with that. All right. So Gary just says you can create micro content from long form videos and live streams. And then he just kind of goes through his model. So this is the example that he gives. So he's showing 3 Instagram clips. So each one of these Instagram clips, one is 3 minutes, one is a minute, one is 5 minutes. So he has the clip, he has some context surrounding the clip. Here's the context surrounding the clip. And then all 3 of those clips were taken from this hour-long keynote that he has on YouTube. So it's kind of a similar strategy of what I was telling you as it relates to how we do the Create Your New Lives. Take the longer piece, the hour piece, that's on YouTube, but then take the clips, break them up, and you can put them on other platforms. So that's another great technique. Then Gary gives some ideas or gives some references to video editing software. He says he used Capwing for video editing, Biteable or Promo.com. These are apps for easy video editing that you can use. And then he says Subtitle or Rev.com for captions, and YouTube. YouTube does captions as well. So the 2 takeaways as it relates to this portion of it that Gary gives us is, number 1, when you do video, you got to put captioning on it. It enhances your reach. You want to do that, and then from a video editing standpoint, you can take long form video and you can chop it up into mini posts and send them out. So again, another place where when it comes to a strategy, a plan, start with a plan, which has been the theme over the last couple of weeks. You got to start with a plan when you're approaching social media. You got to start with a plan. All right, so then he talks about the performance from his videos and the platforms that you could use that for: Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. That's another 4 pieces of content that we have. And he says, look, it takes, it may vary, but he says around 30 minutes to create you some posts as it relates to video micro content. So we got us another, so that's number 11, the 11th idea or technique or concept that Gary has given that we've been able to pull out of this massive deck that he's created, 270 slides that he's created, and we're just kind of taking our time walking through this. We're halfway through it. We got another 5 sessions as we break it down. All right, so before we shut it down, give me some feedback. Any comments? What have y'all learned today? Please share with the people. Anything that y'all learned that you're going to implement from today's session? Nope. Nobody got nothing? Nah, I know y'all got some. Let's see. Oh, my people on the phone. Mark's on the phone. Selena, you got anything you want to share? No. Mark handling business. Handle your business, boo. Don't worry about it. Okay. Well, you know, while we're doing that, if she gets off before I shut it down, Mark will share with us. But the next week we are going to look at. Next week we're going to look at. Selena, you want to share something with us? No. No? Selena say, no, I'm good. I'm just taking it in. All right, I'm with you. Okay. Next week we're going to be looking at text posts as well as quote graphics. So those are the 2. So item number 12, item number 13 from Gary's deck. We're going to look at next week text posts and how we can enhance utilizing that, as well as quote graphics. All right, so had a good show today. Proud of what we looked at. going to do my quick run through before we wrap it up. I always like to end like this because, just a quick reminder as it relates to the CE credit, the different offerings that we have. So, and like I said before, I Create Your New Life. That was another one of those questions that I was asked when I met with the lady, did a company introduction yesterday, and she asked, hey, look, do you guys offer CE credit? Does your company offer CE? And again, when I'm able to answer those questions, affirmatively, makes us feel good, man. It makes us feel like we are moving in the direction that the marketplace, what the marketplace is asking for, right? So if a young lady who's about to get active, get her license reactivated, and she's asking about being able to get CE credit, and I can say, yeah, we offer that through our providership, through our Create Your New Life, and through different classes, it's good. So yes, we do offer CE credit an hour every time we do our Create Your New Life, which is, once a week. We miss a week here and there, but at least more than 40, 50 a year, you get this hour CE credit. As long as we do those, you do those 4 areas. Let's see. Again, if you're looking at this on our YouTube channel or any other social media piece, and you feel like you're not in the right type of environment that's conducive for you to be successful in this business, then you might want to consider doing an online or an in-person company introduction so you can learn more about the things that we offer, like our one-on-one coaching. Or maybe you want to hear more about the digital lead generation system that we have set up as we distribute leads. Or maybe you want to hear more about, I talked about that whole sales process thing, and nobody's really broken down to you as it relates to the 3 stages of a sustainable business, your lead generation, your sales process, your transaction management, and how those systems and strategies, intertwine. Maybe nobody's ever really explained it or talked to you or broke it down for you. Whatever the reason, click on the link. Let's schedule an online or in-person company introduction, and I'd love to have that conversation with you. And then finally, these are the areas we're pushing social media in this particular series. The social media it's a great platform. We use that platform very heavily. So the best way to really engage and connect with us, the different platforms, YouTube, Facebook Business, and then I'm on all the other ones, LinkedIn, Instagram, and I'm very active on social media. We're very, very active on social media. So if you got questions, you want to DM us, you want to comment on different posts and things that we put out, do that, and we will respond and get back with you if you take advantage of that. All right, so with that being said, let me cue my music. All right, let me cue my music. Let me turn it up so I can get ready.
Shall we begin?
No, we are out of here today. We had another great Create Your New Life session. We looked at taking the stuff that you already have and implementing that into your social media strategy, into your plan, right? It's not always about reinventing, adding new stuff. You can also repurpose. That's the great thing about it. We also looked at how we feel about respecting and the family. We talked about treating and respecting one another like family as our core value. Showed you guys our digital lead generation, how we distribute those leads to our agents. And we also looked at a great spacious property. You guys got the link. Share it with your people that's looking to be over close to $249 and have a jacuzzi in the back with a projector. So we got that for sale for under $200,000. With that being said, I am your host, proud to be CEO, broker, realtor, plus coach. Be with you guys today. If you got questions, you all know how to find me, aka Professor X. We're about to go live on a Facebook business page.